for the hundreds of thousands of teenagers heading to university or on the brink of finishing school, health is likely to be the last thing on their minds. But health chiefs are warning this bug, meningitis W, which thrives in these conditions, is not to be ignored. The infection it causes is rare, but can be deadly. Cases have gone up across the UK in the last year. In England, there were 22 cases in 2009. This shot up to 117 in 2014, and this year they continue to rise. The problem is the symptoms aren't always that easy to spot. People can get a fever, vomiting, aches, and feel tired. As the virus takes hold, this can get rapidly worse, with severe headaches, neck stiffness, and even convulsions. By the time a rash appears, if it appears, it can be too late.
Let's not forget that this is a really severe disease. It can lead to limb loss and in some cases death, and it's really important that we protect not only this group, but by offering immunisation to this group, protecting the wider population.
Teenagers near school leaving age will soon receive a letter asking them to book an appointment with their GP. But new students aged 19 to 25 will have to make the call for themselves. And the advice is to make sure they get a jab at least 2 weeks before their first term gets underway. Smita Mundasad, BBC News.
The former Shadow Chancellor Ed Balls has attacked the Labour Party's approach to business under Ed Miliband. Mr Balls was the most high-profile Labour politician to lose his seat at the general election. In an interview for the Daily Telegraph, he said that he didn't like using language which gave the impression that some businesses were the bad guys. He also confirmed that he would be voting for his wife, Yvette Cooper, in the party's leadership contest.
The American country singer Lynn Anderson, who's best known for the 1970s hit I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, has died at the age of 67. Her publicist said she had a heart attack while in hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. She began performing at the age of 6 with a career spanning nearly 50 years.
If you happened to be looking up at the sky above the town of Ottawa in Illinois yesterday, you may have seen an extraordinary sight.
More than 160 people attempted to set a new world record for the largest ever vertical skydive formation, jumping out of planes to create the shape of a flower before landing safely. Tim Allman has more.
No, this is not synchronised ballet dancing. These men are in training to be record breakers. They come to Illinois from all over the world to do something a little bit extraordinary.
We're here at Skydive Chicago in the middle of the Illinois cornfield trying to set a vertical world record of 165 people.
Once they'd reached an altitude of more than 6,000 metres, they were off. Dozens of parachutists plummeting through the sky, reaching speeds of more than 386 kilometres per hour. Slowly coming together, an intricate formation of human bodies, a giant flower in the sky.
We normally jump at maybe 13,000 feet. We're jumping from 19, so we have to use oxygen. The planes have to be in a good formation close for that to work. The pilots have done it really good, so that's working. The timing's got to be perfect on the exit, so everyone gets there. Everyone's got to know what they've got to do and where they've got to be. It's all got to come together to work, which is why it makes it very hard, but also going to be real rewarding when we do it.
After only a few seconds in formation, they split apart. A world record is all well and good. Safely reaching the ground is still the priority. The previous record, 138 people in formation, was well beaten. They'd managed 164. And what a sight it was. Tim Allman, BBC News.
And those are the main stories this morning. We'll have the weather for you coming up in a few minutes' time. Now is 10 minutes past 7. A piece of aircraft debris found earlier this week on the remote island of Réunion in the Indian Ocean has arrived in France to be examined. Australian experts say they're confident the object is from the missing Malaysian airliner. The Boeing 777 vanished in March last year with 239 passengers and crew on board. Well, our East Africa correspondent Karen Allen is on the island of Réunion where the piece of wing was found. Karen, this morning, of course, we know that small piece of debris has arrived in France for more expert analysis. What's being said about it?
Well, watching closely, I'm speaking to you from the beach here in Saint-André. It's low tide, and this is where that piece of plane wing was discovered. As you say, the focus now switching to France.